To most people, the World Cup begins when the ball starts moving. Flights get more expensive, hotels fill up, sponsors buy attention, broadcasters prepare for billions of viewers, cities spend on security, transport, fan zones and temporary structures long before the fans arrive. Before the first whistle, the World Cup economy is already awake. Financially, the game starts years earlier. Contracts are signed, budgets are stretched, promises are made, and by the time the stadium is full, one question is already hiding behind the noise. Who is this really paying? Because the World Cup is not just a celebration. It is one of the biggest attention machines on Earth, and most fans never see the scoreboard where the real money is counted. The World Cup is not big only because people watch it. It is big because almost everyone watches it at the same time. For a few weeks, football becomes a global meeting point. People who do not follow clubs suddenly follow countries. Families watch, bars fill. Brands want to be close to the emotion. And in 2026, the machine gets even bigger. 48 teams, 104 matches, 16 host cities across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. That is not just more football, it is more inventory to sell, more broadcast hours, more tickets, more hotel nights, more sponsorship space, more moments where attention can be turned into money. This is why FIFA is so powerful in this story. In the cycle ending with the Qatar World Cup, FIFA reported more than $7.5 billion in revenue, because the real product is not the ball. The real product is the world looking in the same direction. Here is the hidden crack in the World Cup economy. The host country gets the spotlight, but it does not own the most valuable parts of the show. FIFA sells the media rights, sells the sponsorship packages, controls much of the licensing, hospitality, and ticketing structure around the tournament. The host gets the crowds, the pressure, the security challenge, the traffic, the political promises, and the hope that tourists will spend enough money to make it all worth it. That does not mean hosting is useless. A city can benefit from full hotels, busy restaurants, global exposure, and future tourism. But the deal is uneven. FIFA captures revenue that is global and predictable. The host chases benefits that are local and uncertain. And that is where the World Cup becomes more than a sports event. It becomes a question of risk. Because the host may receive the world's attention, but FIFA controls the switch. Then comes the part that never looks good in a highlight video. The bill, security, transport, stadium upgrades, fan zones, temporary structures, extra policing, public services, crowd control. A host city cannot simply receive the World Cup. It has to prepare for it, and preparation is expensive. The challenge is that the revenue and the cost do not always land in the same hands. A hotel can raise prices, an airline can sell expensive seats, a sponsor can capture attention. A broadcaster can sell audiences, but roads, policing, transit pressure, and public planning often involve government budgets. That is the threat hidden inside the celebration. Not that the World Cup makes no money. It clearly does. The threat is that some players collect the upside while others absorb the risk. And when the final whistle is gone, the question becomes uncomfortable. Did the tournament create lasting value? Or did it simply move money through the city and leave the bill behind? Qatar is the clearest example of this tension. The stadiums reportedly cost around $6.5 billion, but that was only a small part of a much larger infrastructure push, estimated at around $200 to $300 billion. Roads, transit, airports, hotels, new urban projects. And this is where hosts usually defend the cost. They say, "We are not building this only for the World Cup. We are building it for the future." And sometimes that argument is fair. A better airport can keep working. A metro system can serve people for decades. A stronger tourism image can bring visitors long after the final match. But that is also what makes the math so difficult. Was the country spending for the tournament? Was it spending for national development? Or did the tournament become the perfect excuse to accelerate both? The IMF estimated that Qatar's direct short-term boost from visitors and broadcasting was limited, around 1% of GDP or less. So the lesson is not that hosting is always a mistake. The lesson is that the World Cup rarely pays back its host in 1 month. It only works if the things left behind are still valuable when the cameras are gone. And this is the real twist. The World Cup economy is not mainly about whether a city makes money during 1 month. It is about who gets guaranteed revenue and who accepts uncertain benefits. FIFA sells the global attention, sponsors buy the emotion, broadcasters sell the audience, hotels and airlines capture the demand. But the host is making a different bet. It is betting that the spotlight will become something permanent. More tourism, better infrastructure, a stronger global image, a reason for investors, visitors, and businesses to come back later. That future can happen, but it is not automatic. If the infrastructure is useful, the event can become a turning point. If the spending was rushed, overpriced, or disconnected from real local needs, the tournament can fade into memory while the bills remain very real. So the World Cup is not simply profitable or unprofitable. It is a transfer of attention, money, and risk. Football decides who wins the trophy, but economics decides who really benefited from the tournament. And maybe that is the debate every host country should have before the first stadium fills. When the world stops watching, what will actually be left behind? And if you want to understand how global events move money, power, and the economy around you, leave a like, subscribe to Value Reserve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos.